Hi, my name is Macy Daniel, and this is my presentation on behavior and classroom management. Some philosophical beliefs I have as far as classroom management are: classroom management can make or break a classroom. Classroom management cannot be taught, but rather learned by situations. Classroom management is hard to get under control. Classroom management is something all teachers struggle with, no matter how long you've been teaching. Some development of classroom rules. I think it's really important to, when you are laying out classroom rules, to get the whole class involved. So one of the first things I would do on my first day of school is have all the students sit down and kind of come up with some good classroom rules, and we would maybe write them down and hang them in the room somewhere. I would maybe, for my older students, use this as some sort of assignment maybe on the first day of school, that they could come up with some classroom rules and then we could post them. And then I think it's very important to also put teacher input in some that your students may have missed. Some rewards and incentives. I think it is very important to reward your students when they are doing the right thing or acting the right way. But I do not think it is needed to do it every single time that they do something great. I think it's really cool to do it as a whole class. I've seen this happen before and done before, and it's just really cool to see your students encouraging one another to be on their best behavior, and it helps really with those problem students to get your kids involved in their issues too. The Mr. Potato Head is one that I've seen. My mom is a kindergarten teacher. She has done it. Every time someone outside of their classroom notices their good behavior, they get to add a piece to Mr. Potato Head. And when Mr. Potato Head has all of his pieces, they get to do something fun as a whole class, something that they would all enjoy. Okay, so misbehavior is one of the biggest things that I'm concerned about for my classroom. How do you deal with it? I think the most important thing is to be consistent from student to student, from problem to problem. Just let them know really what your rules are and what your expectations are. Make sure they know they get X amount of numbers of warnings before it is down to the principal's office or down to find out what's going on. Parent communication plan. This is another big thing when you're a teacher. Just to make sure that you are on those problem children, keeping your parents updated so that they know what is going on. Maybe setting up some meetings if phone calls and stuff aren't working, if things aren't being fixed, and then maybe set up a special conference when you guys both have time, just to kind of talk about what can be done next. The first days of school. So I found this really cool thing called the Boot Camp, and it's a book, or it is described in our book, and I think that's a really good thing to do on the first days of school to get your students in the right behavior. Obviously modeling the behavior so that they can follow you is a great thing. Routines, just making sure you're in the same routine every day, so that students can get used to that, and just giving them feedback when they are doing things correctly. I think that's really, really great. So some misbehavior consequences. I think these can be very difficult because I do not like to have consequences myself, so I feel like it's hard for me to give consequences to others. But I think one of the most important things, at least for the younger students, that will make them realize that, oh shoot, I probably should do this again, is the loss of fun time, whether it's free time or it's an activity they really like to do, or recess. I know recess isn't a good one to take away because the kids need that, but just the loss of fun time, and then obviously a trip to the office. And I really want to create an inclusive classroom where I can get everyone engaged. I think that is the most important way to create one, is just to make sure that at every moment of the day, every student is engaged, and making sure you are touching on all types of learning and all types of learning styles so that everyone feels like they are understanding and that they are important in the classroom.